Hello and welcome to Model Railroading for Dummies, the how-to show for model railroading dummies just like me. Now, today we're going to start working on preparing the parts for our elevator kit bashing thing. So, main thing we're going to have to do is cut the pieces so that it'll fit in the relatively narrow space on the layout. So, and one thing I would definitely recommend is, okay, you've measured it yesterday, measure it again. Don't screw this up. Yeah, you're better off measuring it, writing it all down, and then coming back the next day and double measuring it. Just make sure that you get the measuring right. That's one thing I would definitely recommend. Now, one thing I have done is I've cut this silo in half. It was relatively easy. Just took a ruler with an edge and I was able to, by getting it flat on this rim here, I was able to get nice, relatively straight. And what I did is I did a score line, and then I used this saw here to cut it off. And for the roof, was what I did is I found exactly, because the roof has these nice little rise joiners or something. So I measured how many in between these air ventilation thingies. Found the middle, and then cut right along the side, and then I was able to get a relatively straight cut. So I got the two metal ones now cut. So now, drop the lid. So now let's go over to the workbench and start cutting the pieces. Okay, here we are on the desk. Now this here is the base for the elevator. Now it's going to require some cutting so that we can adjust this base so that it'll work for our chain structure. So first thing we need to do is to measure. Oh, wait a minute. That's a ruler essentially on there, so I don't need a metal one. All I need, just line it up and measure where an 1.5 inches is. There. I'll do the same over on this side. Okay, and now you can cut this with a hobby knife, but I'm gonna just go for this little hobby saw. There, that's about cut through. Now for this side. Okay. that is the basic cut. So, now the width here is going to be two of these, or these two, basically these two side by side. Trim this little bit here. There. So, let's measure and see how wide. Let's do it, yeah, this way would work better. Okay. Take our ruler. And then measure how long this is. Because what we need to do now is need to cut this piece here in half and then add on as many pieces here as we need to get the right length that we need. So yeah, it's going to take at least part of both these two pieces. So, I'm just going to cut it flush here. Then this piece here, which is for the where the trucks and tractors and wagons come in to dump the grain in, which I do not have room to model. That section there, I will just save that in case I want to use that to kitbash something. Or just basically score and snap. There, and try and make it fairly straight cut here. I can trim these up with, just kind of trim them up a little bit with the hobby knife and sanding sticks. Okay. Now it's just time to start putting pieces together. Try and figure out exactly how much I need. Okay. Figured out approximately how much we need here. I would recommend cutting on the big side. You can always trim it a little bit if you need to. There. Just score it and snap it. Okay. Now, before we do anything, let's test. Do sort of a test fit. Make sure it looks like it's going to be alright. There, here. Use this. To get a nice straight edge. Gotta remember that when it comes time to gluing things down. Okay. Just turn the bottom flash or whatever. So that she sits flat. Okay, it's a good thing I measured, because how in the world did I measure this wrong? Let's remeasure these two pieces together again. Get the right length. Okay, now I understand where I got a half in. I remembered my numbers wrong. And if I'm not mistaken, this piece is going to be nowhere it's close. Oh, it may be close enough. I think I'll measure it this way instead. She's close, so what I think I may do is spread this out, leaving just a tiny gap. I'll get a piece of styrene and get it the exact size I want, so I can glue these onto the styrene so I have a nice solid bottom. This styrene sheet here, I don't remember the exact thickness. It's either 0.1 or 0.2 thickness, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And once you know, this little bit here is not the right. It's not quite enough. So let's go for the side. Okay. Well, I have this here as a straight edge. Might as well use it as a straight edge. Okay, next stop. Gonna need to measure 1.5 inches. Make a little mark there. Little mark there. And then just use this piece as a... or not. I thought this piece was longer than that. I guess I'll have to use my ruler as a straight edge. I'm going to put this upside down so I can see it a little bit better. There. Now it's just a simple case of, this is where a bigger self-healing mat would be nice. I should have asked for one for Christmas, but I didn't. I asked for the 2 kits I need for this project for Christmas. Okay. And of course, this mat is not big enough for this cut, so what I'm going to do here, just put it straight on the table, and it doesn't matter if I were to cut through, but I think for the most part I'm just going to score this and snap it. Set that off to the side. Now, if I can find the pieces. Just set the pieces in place. Gonna guesstimate how thick a piece I need, so it's not quite so gappy-ish. There, that's a little better. Okay, I'm going to use super glue to stick this all together, just so we can move on to start moving on to the next stages. And just make sure you get straight with this nice straight edge, which is one other reason why I really wanted to have base for this, so all these little pieces, I can get them straight. There, got a tiny gap there, but who cares? There, it's a little better. There, then we got a fairly good solid base with which we can start building off our main structure. Then if I wanted to, I can also make another longer strip so that I can connect this part here the same. And in my thinking, I did a little thinking myself, and I think I may do that. So I'm going to have a longer building and connected to the main elevator itself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to eliminate this door here, basically cut it off right here, join the 2 halves together so we get a building about this length, and I think that'll look very good. So Just sort of line up to where I want it. And so this has some just try and get it straight. Now unfortunately the steel sheeting is offset just a hair. So these nice grooves, which make it great for cutting, also make it horrible to get a straight cut when it's like that. So I guess I'm just going to have to suffer through having it off a hair. But if it's, it should be the same for over here, so then that should work well anyway. So that ought to work good. Just use these little plastic ridges to our advantage. Probably use this self-healing mat. Let's see. Get a nice score going so I can cut it. It's a little crooked, but I can sand that straight fairly easily. There we go. Just need to trim it a little bit. There we go. Now, get sort of a test fit. Yeah, so what I'll do here is take a... I have sort of a homemade sanding block here. I'm going to try and use that to level this off. Got some nubs here for the helping to set the wall pieces together, which is kind of screwing things up here. We're trying to line this up for test fitting. There, that ain't too bad. I think this piece here needs to be sanded a little bit more. Just this half. There, that should be able to work. I'm going to sand this because you see it's got a beveled edge for corners. I want more of a flatter edge. There, I think that'll work. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's very doable. Okay, those are those two pieces cut. And I can save that piece in case some project may actually need something like that. So the next piece is going to have to be to cut losing pieces. Going to need one of these ends here, and using an old track cutter for my nipper. There. Take a sanding stick, which I got from Micromark. Okay, now we're going to need, let's see, once again we're going to need about 1.5 inches. Oh yeah, I can measure it here. Okay, once you got the ends marked, okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and make this so that it's not going to move on me. So I can get as straight cut as possible. And to do that, I'm going to use this clamp. And I think she did move, but now completely tighten her up. And she strayed, of course. There, got the score done. Now I can just I said carefully. Guess we're gonna have to go this way. There, just trying to score and snap. Just realized all this effort was for nothing. I need this side, not this side. At least it wasn't as bad as that mistake I did for the State Line Kitbash challenge, where I had to then have to splice the two pieces together. if you want a building with a weird angle, here's the way to go. I think that angle would look cool if I had a use for it. Okay, finally got the right cut. Yeah, I think I'll use my sanding block again to get the nice straight edge I want. Fortunately, this edge is going to be near the wall, so it's not going to be a major deal. And also, the main building's going to be, you're going to be looking at it from this side, so no major rush job here to make sure that it looks perfectly good. Chances are, if I would try and get absolutely straight, the wall would be a little bit uneven. Okay, there's that cut done. Now the roof section. Let's see which end is switched. Okay, the smooth edge is the top. So, let's see, normally where would this fit? Like, yeah, it goes right to the edge here, so I'll do the same. It's like, do I want a little overhang, or do I just, or what? There. And then do the same to this with this side. Let's gonna try and trim this down a bit so I got room for my ruler to sit flat. There we go. Okay. Now, once again, let's line this up. Oops. Started moving. By rights, I should get a second clamp, but I don't feel like doing that. I feel like being lazy. Okay, got the basic cut in. Ew. Didn't get enough of a basic cut in. Oh boy, am I screwing up today. I hit the camera. Okay. Score it here. There we go. Now let's go back this way to fix up this line. There, got that part cut. So we're getting there. And then these upper parts we're going to have to do later after we get the main structure put together. Okay, now we're going to need to cut this piece here, which is going to go here, which means I want this side. Maybe I could cut this piece right for once. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm right. It's like, wait a minute. I don't want this to be upside down. Yeah, you want to make sure everything is right. Okay. There, that part looks good. Now, for the one really long one. And that's going to be this one right here. Okay, let's try and get this nicely lined up. Yep, I got the right side. Let's see. There, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to do it from this side. Okay, here we have this piece done. So now we're getting close to getting all the pieces we need. So yeah, I think that's all the pieces that need to be cut for now. I mean, there will be other pieces that will need to be cut later, namely some of these type pieces. But that really cannot be done until after I get the main portion of the building up. So the remainder of these pieces, I'd recommend probably keeping them in one of the 2 boxes that came in, and then keep them for whenever you're going to be doing another elevator project. Then you can possibly use them for kit bashing that elevator. Okay, that's going to have to be it for today. So next time we're going to continue working on our elevator and try and make it as good as possible. I mean, this is only the second time I've ever kit bashed something, and this is definitely the biggest kit bashing thing I've ever done. Fortunately, it's a lot of squarish shapes, which helps. So until next time, keep working on your model railroads, keep having fun, and until next time, keep your trains on the tracks.